Hi, everyone. Let me know if you can hear me in the comments. Usually I kind of do a little bit of a test with somebody, but I'm the only one here tonight, which is fine. Nancy's not feeling well. She's in the chat. So let me know if you can definitely hear me.
Siberian Wind says can hear you.
Yay! And I am so glad that you're here, Tammy. Thanks for joining us. I'm really curious to know how your trip is going. And Angel suggests she can hear me. So let me go ahead and say hi to everybody. Hi, Herb. How are you doing? How are you feeling? And I already mentioned that I am anxious to hear how Tammy's trip is. Hi, Angel. How are you doing today? And Nancy, I hope that you get to feeling better soon because we miss you. So I am just so grateful to have all of you guys here today. And oh, Carrie Quilts is here. Hi, Carrie. I don't know. Have you been on one of my lives before? If you haven't, I don't remember. I apologize. So, and Tammy says she's already back home now, and she's got a bigger trip next weekend to the quilt show. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You are so busy. Okay, well, let's see. Before I get started on sewing today, I want to go over a few things that have been brewing in my mind, because that's all I've been able to do for the last 2 weeks is brew stuff in my mind. As a lot of you know, I was sick. I was ill, not really sick. I have shingles, and it's actually not even the first time I've had them. The first time I had them was in college. So it's just been a rough and painful 2 weeks. So, and this looks, honey, can you hand me that cloth? The camera looks a little cloudy. I'm wondering if it got a little dirty. All right, I'm going to wipe you guys off. Okay. Hopefully that'll be a little bit better. And Carrie, I'm sorry that I forgot. You're going to have to forgive me. I just, sick brain. That's all that I can say.
Yeah, she says that tickled.
Yeah, but now you're all shiny, aren't you? And so it's been a rough couple of weeks. If you've had shingles or if you know somebody that's had it, then you already know it's just a pain, literally. So I'm still recovering, but I was anxious to get back here at my sewing table and just do something. So next week, and I hope Nancy will be there then, because I'm kind of doing something with her in mind. I'm sure that some of you quilters have already done these things, but if not, I'm here to help. Next Sunday, we're going to be making coasters, quilted coasters, both the round and the square. And we're also going to be doing a mug rug because she wants to know how to make that. And I will come up with some kind of little applique, something or other. And when I post for the live, I'll have a link that everybody can download for, just if you want to follow along and participate. And if you do follow along and participate, make sure that you send me to my Facebook, send me the pictures, and then the week after that, I can show what everybody did. And the other thing, Nancy wants to know if I made this pin cushion. Actually, I didn't. My stepmother made it when initially she wasn't a quilter, and I don't think she's a quilter anymore now, but she did take me to a few of the quilt shows in Paducah, and the bug kind of bit. So she bought some stuff and she did some quilting for quite a few years. and she made this for me. So the other thing that has been brewing on my mind, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting a little tired of just working on the Underground Railroad and the Hexie quilt. So I wanted to throw something else in the mix. Thanks, Nancy, for posting that link for everyone. Some of you may be familiar with these fabrics. They've been around for quite some time. They are the fabrics for the Downton Abbey line. See, Downton Abbey. And I have been planning on doing a quilt based on Downton Abbey and based on Jane Austen. And I guess you could even throw some Bridgerton into the mix. But I've been designing a quilt in my head for quite some time now. And some of it's going to be hand pieced. Some of it's going to be machine pieced. And I'm going to be naming it Timeless. So I think I'm going to add working on this into the rotation. So I guess you get to follow along with me on that. All righty. Now that I've got those put away, those were heavy. There was a lot of fabric in there. Okay. Oh, and Nancy is sharing out my shop too. Okay, Nancy, you're hired. And Tammy said that she would love those. I know they are so pretty. I really wish that I had the time and the energy to do all of the different types of quilts that I want to do. But I'm definitely going to be adding that into the mix. So I think that is it for catching you guys up on the semi-important things. And now let's just get to talking and sewing. And since Miss Nancy couldn't come in here today and help, we have a stand-in to help with conversation.
Hello.
Mr. Pajama Quilter is in the house.
Woot, woot.
Why don't you give a little wave? There he is. And so he's going to be talking with us today. Because I don't think that you just want to hear me talk. I mean, I do that enough on the regular videos as it is.
Oh.
And we all know that I tend to ramble anyway. So.
Ramble on. Doot, doot.
And now he's going to sing.
Little Led Zeppelin for you.
Hi, Mona. How are you doing? It's good to have you here. You know what? I wouldn't have even known that that was Led Zeppelin. I got to be honest. Now he's going to divorce me, guys. I can see it now. So I think I have all of the ones. Let's see. That one's done. I think all I have to do is finish appliquing these circles. And if anybody is new here and is not familiar with what I'm doing, let me know and I will get you completely caught up. Or if anybody is familiar and just wants to see the blocks again or whatever, just let me know. And we can do that. Did you say hi to Miss Angel?
Hello, Miss Angel.
I think he's playing on his phone, guys.
I am watching the chat. Thank you very much.
Are you really?
I really am.
Okay. Let's see. I better count these. They don't look like they're enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, I haven't lost any. Praise God. And if any of you want one of these adorable little thread caddies, for your hand piecing, let Miss Nancy know. She can hook you up. Because it is so nice. Normally, I would just have everything in my hands going from chair to bed or wherever I was going to do my hand piecing. And I absolutely love it. And I will need somebody to remind me at, let's see, well, in less than an hour, but on the hour. It'd be 6 o'clock my time. I can't pick up my needle. It's so tiny. Okay, there it is. At 6 o'clock my time for us to do the tri-bond question.
I was going to say goofer, twofer. That's what popped in my head.
Two for goofer, but which, by the way, if you haven't played two for goofer, it's kind of fun. And they actually have a website. It's just twoforgoofer.com. But they used to be associated with Greater Good, which is a channel that I go to, and I just click on various things, and my click in and of itself donates to places for breast cancer and for pets. And hold on, we have the window open, and it's blowing stuff all on top of our stove, which that's a fire hazard. So hold on.
It's not going. So
well, no, but it's just not right. Things shouldn't be on the stove. Anyway. And let's see. Veterans, diabetes, autism, a whole bunch of things. Anyway. Yeah. And I go and I click on each of the things. Just takes a couple minutes a day. And I've been doing it for maybe close to 20 years every day. And it's just a nice way to give back. I mean, they do have things on the website that you can buy and that sort of thing that are socially responsible, or that part of the purchase, the proceeds goes towards one of the charities or whatever. So you can do that too. But they also have a game section. I'm having trouble speaking today. A game section, and you can play the games on there, and just the time that you're spending playing the game, advertisers will donate as well. So I usually do like the daily Sudoku and the Silicrostic, and I was also doing the two for goofer, but now it's not available on that website anymore. And I'm sure that was really boring for all of you. So I apologize. I just went off on a tangent there. Let's see.
My fault. I mentioned it.
Yeah, you did. I'll blame you. Let's all blame David. Okay, let's see. Nancy said that she's pulling a Kimberly and editing a video with no sound. And every time she talks, she starts coughing. I know. There was that one. It was just awful. And I had to do it as though it was like, one of the 1910 or whatever, when they had the silent films. Okay. And she said, yes, there is a magnet on the side. I know. And I had the needle right there, and I took it off and then I put it down. So yeah, that's all on me. That is all my doing.
I love the look of the little caddy. The wooden stuff just feels so antique.
I know. It's so cute and functional. So definitely check her out. And this right here is for your thimble, but I have yet to find a thimble that works for me. There are the ones that your fingernails fit through, and then there's like the silicone ones, and I'm just, let's just face it.
One of the old-fashioned army helmet-looking ones.
Well, I mean, I have some that are like that too, but okay. I don't know if you can hear it, but one of the puppies is eating back there. So if that's like too loud, I apologize.
I believe it's Love Bug that's grabbing some
You know,
nourishment.
they have not learned to eat with their mouths closed or anything like that. So they tend to be a little extra noisy. But we love them. And for any of you that know me, my puppies are definitely not puppies. Faith will be 14 this October, and Love will be 13 this October. And how old will Charity be this summer? Or now?
She's 6 now. She's going to turn 7 in July.
So 6 now, 7 in July.
Yeah. So they're not puppies anymore, but they're still puppies to us. Kind of like kids. Nancy said can't hear it. Oh, I was like, can't hear what? I was panicking about the sound again.
No, the
the crunchiness. Guys, I'm sorry. I still have sick brain.
the acoustics are such that we are not being interfered with by the dog.
Thank you. Thank you. David doesn't have sick brain, but he does have a bad back right now, guys.
No. I apologize if I'm not as vocal as I usually am. I'm just a little on the grumpy side from the pain.
Yeah, we're still trying to sort through our storage. And so they were moving some boxes yesterday, and some of them, I think, honestly, was probably one that was mine. They were moving it, and it was really heavy, and he kind of hurt himself.
Clearly, my brain and my eyes are not nearly as old as my back.
Yeah, I remember we had an incident. It's kind of funny because, you know, we just embrace how we're getting older all the time. And we embrace each other with gray hairs or hair loss or bigger bellies or whatever the situation may be. You know, that's just who we are. And I was remembering when we first met, I had a bunch of stuff in storage, and we were getting ready for our wedding, and I had to have my grandmother's watch, and it was in a jewelry box, in storage. And I was coming off of a divorce, so I would say 99% of the things I owned were in that storage unit. And I wasn't the one that had boxed everything up. So we didn't have any idea where it might be, where that jewelry box might be. And, you know, this is 14 years ago. We've changed a little bit.
Yeah, you've put up with me for 14 years now. Can you believe it?
No, I cannot believe. Just teasing. But it was like 14 years ago, and he had been working out on the base and stuff like that. And we went to the storage unit, and he was like a machine. He was just pulling boxes in and out and in and out and in and out and moving stuff here and there and the other place. And he took so much out of that unit, and it was packed all the way to the ceiling. And finally, we find the jewelry box. I find the watch. I'm in tears. I'm all happy. And then, you know, you look around, and there's all of the stuff that we'd taken out of storage that has to go back into storage. And he just went right to work, just boom, 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 boom. Can you imagine doing that?
No, my body is going, we did that? Oh, we are so nuts. Oh, it's not happening again.
Yeah, we are not who we used to be.
No, in 14 years, my body has fallen apart quite a bit. I've definitely gotten past my period of warranty.
In fairness, neither of us have done what we need to do to prevent that from happening.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't understand why lying in bed just can't be considered a workout, you know?
I know. But no, we have not made proper effort to stay young. And nobody is talking right now. So I guess we are the only old farts around.
Apparently.
But that's okay. That's okay. Oh, and by the way, I want to give a shout out to a very dear family friend of ours. We met him through my mom when we visited South Carolina, and he is such a sweetheart and such an advocate for animals. And I just want to say, hi, Jack. We miss you. I hope to see you again soon. And thanks for tuning in on occasion. I appreciate it. We love you. And Mom, we love you too. You know that. And Angel said she was enjoying the story. And Nancy said it should. You sit up and lay down every time you go to the restroom. Exactly. Exactly. And Carrie says, no, she's not in that club. She's just sewing along. And Nancy says she's also editing at the same time. I don't know how you can edit videos when you're watching other things. I cannot do that. I am not that talented. As a matter of fact, the guys have tended to disappear when I start editing videos because I don't want anybody talking. I don't want anybody moving. I have to focus.
It's very boring to be in the room with you when you're in edit mode.
Well, I'm just
because we're not allowed to do anything.
I know. I'm just in the zone. I'm in the zone. And I want it to be as mistake-free as possible, which, of course, it never is. There are always mistakes, but I can't imagine how messed up the videos would be, if I had a ton of distractions. I'm the kind of person that I will be like typing something or writing something, and if somebody says something like other words, I will find myself typing or writing the words that they just said. So, yeah.
So you were born to be a transcriber.
Oh, I hope not. I hope not. So, Carrie, what are you sewing along on? And she says she's in the old part club. Yeah. We're all aging every single day. Nancy said it's a simple crochet review of a DT crochet kit. Okay.
Did not know DT had crochet kits. Interesting.
Yeah. You don't know of any crochet kits.
Well, it could be. Yeah.
Speaking of kits, if you're not a friend of mine on Facebook, then you wouldn't know. But I finished my miniature kit. And it was so cute. The final process.
Mm-hmm.
Gentry, you want to go get it and show it to him? My miniature. Yep. My very first miniature. I was totally inspired by Nancy to give it a try. Oh, Carrie says she's starting a Storm at Sea quilt. I have always wanted to do one of those. One of the many ones that I would love to do. The motion in those. Oh, my goodness.
I've been through a few storms at sea. I prefer the quilts.
Okay, guys. Here it is. I don't know how well you can see. Let's see if we can get it clear. And I know that the light is.
We can turn off the light.
Yeah, let's turn off the light for just a second and see if that helps. No, then we're just getting the stuff from the other thing. Oh well, we tried. Okay. All right, so let's see. You can kind of see in there a little bit. But it is so little and cute. And I even got the light to work. So you just move that and it turns the light off and on, which you can't really see. But it's so fun. And I definitely think, let's put it where we can see it a little bit. There we go.
You were working on that for a while.
I was. What I would do is I would work on it every Tuesday when I was watching Nancy's show when she's doing her miniatures on her Tiny Tuesday. And so, but it took, I mean, well, some of the time is that there's a lot of drying time with the glues and stuff like that. But trying to do some of the little things, like, let's see, I don't know if you can see or not, but see the little pair of glasses right there? It's not clear, but there you go. See, trying to do those glasses, that took a little while. But just cutting the things out and gluing the things on and that kind of thing, it took time. I wouldn't say that any of it was particularly difficult, but there was definitely a learning curve.
I have to give credit that one of the things I thought was interesting about the kit as you were putting it together, it seemed like each night when you would finish up a section, it was like a little victory, because
Yes.
you had the bookcase that you had put together, or you had the stack of books or something,
Or
like
the
that,
chest, or
something like that. So it was broken up, and so you had a piece of the puzzle that had come together to kind of encourage you on. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
that is so precious. I can't wait to do the next thing.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. Okay, let's see. Angel said I did amazing. Thank you, Angel. And Nancy said it's adorable. And Mona said it's pretty. And Carrie said, me too. I'm assuming about the storm at sea. Carrie, what fabrics and colors and stuff are you using for that? And Nancy said the display stand finishes it off. It does. And I like that it's totally closed so that I don't have to worry about, I mean, can you imagine dusting that? That would be a pain. And God forbid something like falls off and in the dusting process. And oh, I don't even want to think about that. Okay.
Right. Especially if it's something like really tiny in the middle, where it's
yes,
like, now you got to get in with a pair of tweezers.
Well, actually, I used tweezers to put most of it together in the first place, so I can't. I don't even want to go there. Okay. And Nancy said next to the thread holder really shows the size. Yeah, I guess it does. I mean, especially, I mean, look at that compared to the thread. You're right, it does. And let's see, Nancy says that she has a 124 kit in storage and she can't wait to get it. I can't wait for you to get it either. Do you remember what it's a kit of? Because I would love to see. I was talking to the guys, and I think
Mona says she loves the owl that's inside. There's actually two of them. There's one in the front, one in the back.
Yeah. There's one there, and there's one there, and I do love that it's a complete 360-degree view.
Mm-hmm.
So anywhere you're looking, you've got plenty to look at. I do like that too. Carrie says she's doing grays, but she might add blues. I think that is perfect for a nice storm. Yeah, I think that's
a very gray experience to be in a real one.
And which it's funny. David was in the Navy, which is why he's talking about the storms at sea. And a little bit of trivia about him is that he can't swim. And he's actually afraid of water, which I'm not a big fan either. But, and I'm like, why did you become a sailor if you can't swim and you're afraid of water? And he had a really good point to make.
Well, if a ship goes down in the middle of the ocean somewhere, you could be Mark Spitz. You were not making it to shore.
Yeah. So it really wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter if he could swim or not. So.
Oh, Carrie was in the Navy too.
Really? Hey, I bet you guys could compare notes. So were you stationed anywhere exciting? And she asked, how did you get out of boot camp?
You only have to float to be able to get out of boot camp. You don't have to actually swim.
So you managed to be able to float?
Yep.
I've never seen you float when we would go to the water parks
because
and stuff.
Because I hate doing it. I hate the water.
Okay, and now we know.
Yeah. but that was the worst day of boot camp for me. I mean, and it's boot camp, so there's a lot of horrible days. But the day
But that was your worst
we
day.
had to do the swim test in the pool, that was
Okay.
Luckily, it was something that we got out of the way very early on, and it didn't have to spend all of boot camp dreading it.
And Angel said, "Thank you for your service, Carrie." Absolutely, I agree. And she said, "I guess they changed it when I went through." So, what did you have to do? And I wonder if it also depended on where the boot camp was. Is there's more than one, right?
Not anymore. There used to be 3 of them. When I went through, there were 3. There was Great Lakes, Illinois, which is just north of Chicago. That's where I went. There was a boot camp in San Diego, California. And then there was a boot camp in Orlando, Florida, which is where, at the time, the ladies went. The Navy shut the really nice ones down as part of the base realignment. When base realignment and closure happened, they shut down Orlando and San Diego and kept the one up in the Great White Way, so that I guess they wanted everybody to learn how to freeze.
Yes, but now you and I love the cold, so.
But it made more sense to me that they would go ahead and keep Orlando, which is where they had already set up all the facilities for the women to be able to go. Men went in Orlando as well, but that just happened to be, if you were female and joining the Navy, you were guaranteed you were going to Orlando. And also, it's just nicer all year long. But nope, they shut that one down, and I guess they figured Orlando and San Diego, they could get more money for those properties.
I wonder if they've opened up any more since then.
No.
Interesting. Well, that's it. Okay. Well,
You got 2 comments.
let's see. Hi, Crafty Annie. Good to have you tonight. Thanks for stopping by. And Carrie said, just basic above water. I went to Great Lakes. Okay. Both same place.
Right after the BRAC closed the other 2.
Okay.
BRAC being the Base Realignment and Closure Commission that I don't know how many people remember, but the government went through a period where they were trying to save money, and they shut down a whole bunch of government facilities that were redundant.
Okay.
The Navy lost 2 boot camps out of that. But they were also doing a lot of fun stuff, like there was a base that I think it was in Texas somewhere that was like half Air Force and half NASA that were running it. And the BRAC said that they needed to shut that base down. So the Air Force turned the keys over to NASA, and it just kept running. I saw that on 60 Minutes. I thought it was hilarious. It was like it's classic government. It's officially off of the Department of Defense's books because it belongs to NASA now, but nothing else changed.
Interesting. Okay. Very fun. You never know. You never know what the government's going to do.
Oh, the government! I've seen so many things with the government where it was like they would go through and they wanted to look like they were saving money, so they would cut a whole bunch of military jobs and give them to contractors, so that the money was coming out of a different pocket.
Yeah.
And then they would turn around a few years later and decide that the contracting budget was too big. They needed to cut back, and so they would take those jobs and turn them back into military jobs again. And just keep spending the money, just keep moving which pocket they were taking it out of.
Yes, it's Kimberly. That's okay, Annie. I'm horrible with names. And Carrie said, didn't the budget go up?
Oh, Pam is there.
Hi, Pam. Good to see ya. Howdy ho, neighbor. Okay. Yeah. So glad you're here, Pam. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know whether or not the budget went up, whether or not at the end of things we wound up spending more money than we did before we started, quote unquote, closing bases.
That's a good question, though. I mean, all right. See, Nancy, I'm actually using the I'm using the magnet. I love my little caddy, though.
I love my little caddy girl.
He's so silly. In fairness, if Pam were here, I think that all we would do is just sing stuff constantly.
Pam is here.
Well, here. Just here.
30 minutes in, do you want to talk about food?
I don't know if you guys heard that, but Gentry's in the background. He goes, "It's 30 minutes in. Do you want to talk about food?"
Actually, yes.
Actually,
I haven't eaten yet today.
I haven't eaten yet today either. Oh my goodness. That's hilarious. Gentry, you're too funny. You know what, guys? Before I sew this, it might help if I actually put a knot at the end of this thread. I got so distracted about the food.
You guys are missing out on that. Gentry is can be such a wit, but he's camera shy, and so you don't get to the fun.
He's everything shy. He's people shy, camera shy, socially in general shy, but he's hilarious. So funny, so smart.
Brilliant and quick-witted, and frequently he just cracks us up like nobody's business, but it's just a private little thing that only we get to enjoy. Sorry.
And I'm sure that you're embarrassing him now just talking about it. He says, uh-huh.
No, I said no.
Oh, really? Well, good. Maybe we've made some progress.
Nancy wants to know if we're trying to find him a maid.
Well, yeah, actually we are. Because I want grandbabies. That's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, periodically I'll be out with him, and I'll kind of try to nudge him. So some really super cute girl about his age that we see it. He has no game.
Okay, that's not true.
That's not true. He does have game. He's really picky about what he wants, and also he's picky about what he wants for himself before finding a mate.
Not picky as in looks, picky as in...
Yeah, not picky as in looks, picky as in morals and lifestyle and faith.
Believe me, when I'm pointing out somebody, I take into consideration. I mean, granted, it's like if I just saw a young lady, I don't know anything about her, but if she's putting off a good vibe,
yeah,
it's not just the physical.
No, it's not.
Because I've seen plenty of young ladies who were physically attractive, but they just put off that vibe, and they know it.
Yeah, he wants a very sweet girl, good faith, good sense of humor, just
old-fashioned values, because he's just an old-fashioned kind of boy.
Yeah,
wants to court before marriage, instead of just regular dating.
Yeah, he wants to save his first kiss for the wedding day. I mean, how sweet is that? And Pam said to stay picky and don't settle. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But if he could be, a little faster about not being picky and not settling, I'd be happy.
Hey, you know what? I went 15 years but waiting for you.
Oh, it was 13.
I thought it was 11. How many years was it, David?
It was 15.
It was 15? Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
No, wait. Are you going by when you got a divorce or when you split up? Because that's two different things.
I believe it was.
You had a really long time before your divorce was final.
2 years that my divorce took to run its course. But yeah, I believe it was from when we split.
That does not mean that David didn't try to find somebody. Yeah.
True. I tried to force it a couple of times, and it wasn't pretty. Which is why I can sit here and speak from experience that don't, as Pam says, stay picky, don't settle. God's got that just right person out there for you. You just got to be patient.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we had a very interesting story. Very interesting story. It was clear that God's fingerprints were all over it. I don't think that, I mean, I was telling my pastor at the time about how we met and everything, and even he was kind of dumbfounded by the whole thing. Like, yeah, absolutely. It's 100% a God thing. So that was kind of fun. But I like hearing the stories of how people met and got together.
Mm-hmm.
There was this one couple. I'm not going to name any names. And actually, I don't even spend time with either of these people again. Not because of the story, but just, life goes on. And
life goes on. People move different directions.
Yeah. And she and her husband to be, when they first met, they both immediately lied to each other about their age. He said that he was younger. She said that she was older. And so they're starting this relationship off based on lies. Needless to say, it ended in a divorce. I'm like, I'm not surprised. So I don't think that one had God's fingerprints all over it, but no, maybe I don't know, but it didn't sound like it.
That was more like because of that when God's forehead had his palm print on it.
Oh, Pam said one of her son's best friends did that. They did kiss on their engagement, but everything else was saved until after the wedding for both of them.
Aww.
I love that. And Nancy said that it took her 12 years after her first husband passed to find Earl. Yeah, exactly. It just, sometimes it takes time. And I don't know, hon, was it worth the wait?
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm not. I'm not the greatest catch.
Oh, please. You are all that and a side of fries.
Fine. I'll let you sleep in the bed again. But yeah.
You got 11 people tuned in right now who think you're pretty awesome. So there.
Hey, and you know what? I bet I've got some lurkers. So let me go ahead and give a shout out to my lurkers and say thanks for hanging with us. Thanks, guys. And for those who are actually participating in the chat, here you go. Alrighty. And I think David's still dancing to that tune. It's such a fun little tune.
It's a fun little ditty, yeah.
I know. All right. Let's see. Nancy said that she really wasn't looking. She was okay being a single mom. It's amazing when it happens. It really is. I had a couple of guys that were interested in me at the time, and I was going through a divorce, but the divorce took longer than necessary because my ex had kind of gone into hiding. So, we had to do the whole thing where you put the ads and the papers. Anyway, you guys know what it's like. But if you haven't gone through it, I'm sure somebody has gone through it. So there were a couple guys that were interested, and they each had redeeming qualities, but it wasn't exactly the right thing. And I kind of felt like it was taking a lot of energy, and I don't know. And we had at church one Sunday, we had the the service that's led by the youth. So they do all the worship music and they actually do the sermon and everything. And they had a song and they acted it out. And if you know it, because there have been popular videos and a lot of churches have done it. If you know it, then you know how powerful it is. It is
Everything by Lifehouse.
Yes, Everything by Lifehouse. And actually, after this, I'll try to link to the video for it. But oh my goodness, I was just sobbing right there in the service. It just moved me that much. And I was like, you know what, God, you're right. I'm just going to focus on you. And I'm not even going to think about, dating or anybody or these guys. Or I'm like, if you want somebody for me, you need to just drop him right in my lap. And it was the Sunday after that I met David.
And in my case, I was going, different poor relationship to poor relationship. They were not working out. I was busy trying to force it. And eventually I just said, all right, God, if whoever it is that you want me to be with, then you're just going to have to pick her and you're going to have to drop her in my lap. And it was about a week later that
And actually, you got told to go to the church.
I did. I'd been out of church for a while, and not surprisingly, things weren't working out very well in a lot of areas of my life. I was still trying to be faithful, but I hadn't found a church I was happy with, and so I had just kind of given up on that aspect of it. I got a thing in the mail that said that Kimberly's church was celebrating Back to Church Sunday.
Yeah.
Encouraging people who hadn't been in a long while to come back.
Or new, or just in general, who were looking. Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm sort of, I filed that in the back of my head. A couple of days later, I'm out for a walk in my neighborhood, just trying to get some exercise and stuff. And I found that same flyer again that somebody else had dropped on the ground.
Right in his path.
Right in my path. And I was like, okay, I hear you, God. I'll go check this church out.
Yeah. And I was working that Sunday in one of our large receiving rooms because I worked at the church in the Christian Life Center, which is the gym and the activities and the craft classes and stuff like that. I was working in there. So I was there at a booth in that. Now, if you knew me, and especially back then, having come off of an abusive relationship, to say that I was shy was an understatement. And for whatever reason, this guy came in the room and I just knew that the Lord said, okay, you need to go shake his hand. Well, why don't you just tell me to strip off my clothes and run around naked? It was about the same feeling. But I did, and I went and
I might have remembered that.
Oh, you're funny. I went and I shook his hand, and I'm like, hi, welcome, and that sort of thing. And then he and one of the greeters, they were gone, and I'm like, why did I do that? What was the point in that? Okay, God, I did what you told me to do. Don't know why. And then I just went on with the rest of my day. Now, David, on the other hand, he had a different experience.
Well, I had shown up, and one of the older ladies in the church that got her closet.
One of the greeters
got very excited that a new person did actually respond to. And so she was just motivated to find that spot to fit me in before I had a chance to walk back out the front door. And so along the lines of speed dating, I was doing speed church. Anna was just, it's like, this is this, and meet these people. Okay, we're on to this. We're going to go do this. And the whole thing was a blur. And to be perfectly honest, I don't remember meeting Kimberly that day.
He doesn't. He has no.
I have no memory.
The one person that he does remember, other than Anna, was an extremely tall, leggy blonde from the parking lot. which I like to tease him about quite a bit. But yeah, granted, she would really be hard to forget, but even still.
Well, I think part of that is just because Holly was the first person that I interacted with when I first got to the church. She did not have a chance. She did not have a chance to be blended in with everything else once Anna got a hold of me.
Yes.
So.
And once I had shaken his hand, I completely forgot about him. I was like, you told me to do that, God. That didn't turn out to be anything. And I didn't mean anything as far as a relationship went. I just meant anything in regards to getting him signed up for something within the Christian Life Center. So I completely forgot about it. Well, a couple of days later, I was playing on my phone. And at the time, I was living with my father. And he was really, I mean, like every day he was showing me like a new fun app or two on the phone for me to check out. Now you got to realize this was 14 years ago. So even still, there weren't a huge amount of apps. It's not like it is now. And he was and I was like, you know what? I'm going to show him an app for once. So I got on my phone and I was like, just looking through apps. And I saw one that said OK Cupid, but it looked like OKC. And I was originally born in Oklahoma City. And so it caught my attention. And I didn't even check to see what it was before I went ahead and downloaded it. And then I opened it up. Well, OK Cupid is a dating website. I wasn't interested in dating. I'd had that conversation with God. I meant it. And I was perfectly content at that moment. And I just decided to look in and just see what this whole thing is about. I mean, I'd been married for a long time. I didn't know what people were up to these days. You know, completely different world from when, I was in college. So I was looking through it.
Seeing all sorts of wonderful people like serial killer.
Yeah, somebody was called serial killer. I mean, it was spelled different, but
spelled cereal like breakfast cereal.
But even still, it was weird. And I came across this one profile, and the guy, I wasn't attracted to the picture.
I love hearing it when you say that.
I know. To be honest, it looked like John Lovitz. And I mean, he's a funny guy, but not really my type. But, whatever. And
I love hearing it when you say that.
I know. I know. It's just a thing. Hey, you were looking for women who are totally different than what I am. So we're even. But I read the profile and it was hilarious. It was so well written, so funny. And I wasn't interested in dating him, but I was so impressed by his profile that I felt compelled to just say, hey, you did a great job writing this. Good on you. And so I did. And that was my only intent with that.
That was me. And we
obviously
started off a little bit of a conversation, and both of us were sitting there kind of going, you look kind of familiar. And we started comparing notes, and eventually I got out of Kimberly where it was that she worked, and she told me that, I'm at such and such church, and I'm like,
and he said, I went there.
I just went there
a week and a half ago.
Yep, because of the Back to Church Sunday, and I shared with that about having, and
I said, oh no, I said, I will get back to you in a minute. So I called up Anna. I said, Anna, that guy that you were dragging around church on Sunday, was his name David? She said, yes, it was. I said, I just met him online.
And now, to put it into perspective, this is Memphis, Tennessee. It is not a small little rinky-dink town where you run into the same people 5 times a day.
No, not even
like we
close.
Did here in Helena. Helena's very, very tiny,
yeah.
But Memphis is a humongous metropolitan city. And so the chances of stumbling across the same person in about a week's time
two very completely different ways.
Yeah.
A million people.
That just had us both going, oh, okay, this is a little woo.
And then the thing that really, really made us stop and think, if we weren't already doing it, was we found out that both of us 2 months prior to meeting had posted on our Facebook pages the exact same song dedicated to our future spouse. And the song was God Gave Me You
by Dave Barnes.
Yes.
Not by Blake Shelton, by
No.
Dave Barnes.
Yeah. It was before Blake Shelton even knew that it was a song. So
Dave Barnes is the guy that actually wrote it.
And it was not a popular song at the time, but and that's the only song I think I've ever dedicated to anybody via my Facebook. And it was to my future husband. And he had done the same thing. We did it about a week apart. It was insane.
Oh, and on top of that, the church was going through some construction at the time. They were building a new building.
Yeah, that was funny.
That they were naming it in honor of the pastor that had founded the church and was getting ready to retire, Dave Schieber.
Yeah.
And so they decided to call that building Dave's Barn.
That was a little funny.
And here we are. Our song is by Dave Barnes. And so we're just like, okay, this is just all the woo just kept coming fast and furious.
Yeah, it was. We actually, we finally, and I say finally, agreed to go on a first date. And
Carrie says that she likes the original better, much like we do.
Yeah, I agree. Nancy said it's one of her favorite songs. And Angel said that she has been single more than she was married to both of her husbands combined. You know what? Sometimes it's better to be single. Absolutely.
That's what Apostle Paul says.
Yes, he does. You're absolutely right. And we went on our first date, and I'll let David tell you how he talked me into doing that. But we were married. I mean, well, no, we were engaged.
Good golly, it was like
just weeks after that.
Yeah, it was just a couple of weeks.
We had not. It had not even been a month from when I shook his hand before we were engaged. So it was just
things moved fast, but there were too many things that were just feeling like this is a God thing. This is a God thing.
Yeah.
Making it very hard to ignore that this is the one that's supposed to be. And so we both really just seized the moment, jumped in both feet. It's not something we would ever recommend to our kids to move that fast.
No.
But there were just too many things that just lined up that made us feel like that this is it.
Yeah.
This is the right one.
And we were married 3 months to the day of our first date. Yeah.
Yep. And she said she needed a date for her boss's wedding. And when I offered to take her, she fought me tooth and nail.
Well, I didn't say that I needed a date. I just said I didn't want to go without a date. I didn't want to go alone. And we had never actually met yet. And I had actually prayed, and I said, Lord, can you please give me a date for this wedding so I don't have to go alone? And then there's David saying, I would love to take you. I'll take you. And I'm just like, no, I don't think so. But to be honest, I was too afraid. I mean, even though I had some guys interested in me, having been in a really abusive relationship, I felt like I was the most unwanted, ugliest woman that ever existed. And I did not want David to actually see me. So I was just terrified.
Yeah, her profile picture on OkCupid was of her nose.
It was not of my nose. That is not true. it was a very close-up picture. It did show my nose and one of my eyes and a bit of my smile and a tiny bit of hair. I was being artistic. But yeah.
It was a picture of your nose.
It was not a picture of my nose. I mean, not that I have an issue with my nose. I don't, but it was not on my nose.
It was a very tight close-up, folks. It was pretty much of her nose. There was a little bit else that was in the frame, yes, but for the most part...
Okay, there was enough in that picture for you to say that I looked like, what's her
Catherine
face?
Hicks, yes.
Yes, to say that I looked like Catherine Hicks. But, yeah, it was... But, yeah, I didn't want him to see me. And he really wanted to take me, and I was just like, no. He kept me on the phone until I don't know, maybe 8 o'clock in the morning, all the way overnight. He wouldn't let me get off the phone until I agreed to go on the date with him.
Well, keeping you on the phone, we kept each other both on the phone during that period. That was one of those times when we would do the whole, it's like, no, you say bye. No, you say bye first. No, you say. We were like a couple of teenagers.
We were. But I told him, I said, okay, I'll go with you, but I want you to understand that I look like an ogre. And you know what he said to me?
Fiona's really cute.
That's what he said to me. And there we go. The rest is history. Twisted history, I'm sure, but it's all history. And Tammy said that she married her husband 3 months after they met. Yeah, exactly. When you know.
Yeah.
Especially if it's I think a second marriage, because you already know what you do and don't want. You see things from a different perspective.
But you have to be really careful because that second marriage thing, I saw a statistic that second marriages end in divorce more frequently than first marriages because so many people rebound.
Well,
they're so desperate. Like I was so desperate to try to fill that gaping void that my first wife left. But, I was trying to shove Jennifer-shaped pegs in a Kimberly-shaped hole, and they just were not working until I actually finally got that Kimberly peg.
Well, and the interesting thing is if the Jennifer shape or the Jennifer whatever, if it had been the right thing for you in the first place, you wouldn't have ended up in a divorce anyway.
Not,
but there was no logic in your thinking initially.
There was just desperation to not be alone.
Yeah.
It took a long time. It took me, I think that's part of the reason why it took 15 years was because it took a long time for me to finally get to where I was just comfortable in my own skin and hit the point where I was like, okay, I'm okay being alone. I'm okay with it being just me. And I do believe that to be effective in a relationship, you have to hit that point where it's like,
absolutely,
I'm okay being alone. A relationship would just be a bonus. It's not what I need.
Yes. And, and you gave it over. You gave it over to God. And
that's when God finally said, okay, now you're ready for me to give you somebody.
And I get that not everybody's a Christian. And so not everybody's going to go down that path. And that's perfectly fine. But I definitely think that being okay with who you are and being okay with being alone. And like what Nancy said, being okay being a single mom.
Mm-hmm.
I think that really helps because then you're not as inclined to make those bad decisions.
No, because when I was desperately looking for a relationship, any girl that came along that seemed like she was remotely interested in me, I was taking a look at, even with red flags, flying the size of
Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, he tells me about his past relationships. Oh my goodness. And I'm thinking, what were you thinking?
I wasn't. I just did.
He was not. He made some seriously poor choices.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm not even picking on him. I'm just.
What were they?
What were the poor choices? Do you want me to give you their names?
What, you want to look them up and see if they're still around?
No. So we have shared a lot of our histories with our kids in an effort that they would not make as many bad decisions as what we have done.
Maritza just popped in.
Hola, Maritza. How are you doing today? Yeah. So.
And Angel apparently is really wanting to do the tri-bond because she just popped in and said reminder.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. Absolutely. Let me pull that up. All righty. I already have it all typed up and ready for us. And today, if you get the right answer, I'm going to have David write it down. Let me get him some paper. I'm going to have him write it down.
She didn't warn me about this prior.
I know. I didn't. Okay. I've got my little sheets. You can just put them on one of the sheets, whatever you want to write them on.
Okay.
If they get the right answer. Now, I'm not going to say, I'm going to give, let's give at least 20 minutes. Nobody look up stuff. No cheating.
Is it the first person or am I writing down everybody gets the right answer?
Everybody that gets the right answer. And then we'll put all those in a hat and then we'll stick it or a bowl.
Okay.
Actually, I've got a bowl right here that we could, no, I'm not going to use that bowl. Anyway, we'll get a bowl. I'll stick them in a bowl and David will pull it out. So that's what we'll do. And
hey, Rocky, you want to see me pull a rabbit out of my hat?
Oh my goodness. Okay. And the prize today is going to be one of my digital patterns. And I'm going to let you choose what it is. So when you win, go to my Etsy site and pick which digital pattern you want. It's going to be digital. And then I will, and give me your email address, and I will email you the pattern. So.
And after all the discussion we just had, I would not have been surprised if you said today's prize is a date with Gentry.
No. I'm not that. No, I'm not desperate. Okay. All right. Besides, I have a feeling that at least 90% of the people that are in the chat today are too old for him.
He's not particular. We know this about him.
Oh, sure. Not at all. All right. Here we go.
Things like age. It's not particular about things like age.
Here we go. A golf course, All in the Family, and World War I. What do they have in common?
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Goodness, I got to think about that one.
Okay. And Carrie said that you did a nice Bullwinkle, David. Do not encourage him, Carrie. Don't do that. Okay, we have one answer. Not going to say if it's right or not. And we're going to give we'll give about 20 minutes. So at 6:30, and once David figures out the answer, then he can start writing down names. Repeat, please. Okay, it's a golf course. Yeah, duh, it's on the screen. I know. It's fine. I'll repeat it though anyway. A golf course, All in the Family, and World War I. Okay. We've got 2 for bunker.
Got 3 for bunker.
We got 3 for bunker.
Might as well go with 4 for bunker. I'm liking that answer.
You're liking that answer?
I have no idea what the answer is, people. Do not go based on me liking that answer because I don't know what it is and I could be guiding you wrong. So, yeah, Kimberly did not inform me of what the answer is. But I am liking where people are thinking on that.
Do you want me to write it down for you so that you know if you need to write down anybody's name yet?
I can go back through the chat, I guess.
Okay. And Carrie says it has to be bunker. Now, if I don't tell David the answer and if he guesses something and it turns out to be right, I think that he has to actually make the quilt for the pattern he chooses. You should see the look on his face. He's been down that road before. He doesn't want to do
Quilting
it.
ain't for wimps. I'm a wimp.
What about the one he's already started?
Well, that doesn't count.
Can I pick that pattern and then just qualify that one?
Nope, you cannot. That would not count. Or you would actually have to finish that one. I'm getting the look again. Ah, too funny.
Okay.
All righty. So David and I have completely talked everyone's ear off with our probably not so exciting love story. You know what? This would be a good time for us to do a bit of a Q&A.
Okay.
Okay.
If anybody has questions,
If anybody has any questions at all about me or David, should I even throw you in here too, Gentry?
Sure.
Okay.
our whole family.
Our whole family. If anybody has any questions whatsoever, complete transparency and honesty.
Oh, that's scary.
I know. It is
You're
scary.
making promises I'm not sure I can keep.
Yes, you can. Well, I know the truth about you, so I'll share. Okay. Q&A time. Ask any question you want. And it could be about anything. It could be about work, family. It can be about hobbies, stupid stuff. Doesn't matter.
Nothing inappropriate.
Oh, yeah, nothing inappropriate. But I don't think they would do that anyway. Or if you do ask something inappropriate, then we'll try to uninappropriate it. Say that 5 times fast. Guys, I only have 2 more of these to applique, and then I can start putting them together.
I know I've got a little bit of a lag going on, so I'm not going to take it personally that I'm not seeing any questions asked yet.
Oh, absolutely not. And, we're probably also not that interesting. But I'm still giving the opportunity.
Who sings the loudest in the shower? That's an easy one. Me, I do everything the loudest.
No, that's not true. It's Gentry. Gentry sings the loudest in the shower. I sing the second loudest in the shower. And because you never sing in the shower, for once, you are not the loudest.
But about everything else, I'm the loudest.
Yeah.
It's weird how I'm the quietest and yet I sing the loudest.
But Gentry has a beautiful voice, and
He
it's
does.
very deep, and he loves to sing in the shower, and it's wonderful to hear.
Again, because of his stage fright, this is something that you all don't get to enjoy just for us. So sorry.
Yeah. And actually, if he thinks that we're listening, then there goes that. He'll get really quiet again. So we usually don't tell him when we can hear him singing. But interestingly enough, Gentry has a playlist. He's actually has several. Well, oh my goodness, how many?
Couple hundred.
He's got a couple hundred playlists.
Okay,
maybe only 100. Actually, maybe only 50. Anyway, he's got a ton of playlists on his personal Facebook. Not Facebook, sorry, YouTube channel. And one of them is it Mommy and Me? What is it called?
I don't remember.
Well, there's Mommy's college years, Mommy's high school years.
Yeah. But there's one on there that he has just for the 2 of us, and it's mostly duets and that kind of thing. That Me and Mommy is what it's called. And he and I, we will sing along with those together, and he'll do the guy part and I'll do the girl part. And it's fun because I really enjoy singing with them.
Who's the worst backseat driver?
Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
That is me 100%. I complain all the time. Absolutely. Don't do this. Use your turn signal. Stop weaving. Go slow. Brake softer. I'm horrible.
I keep trying to tell her that the car can actually be driven from the left-hand seat, that if she wants to give that a shot sometime. She refuses to drive, always makes me drive, but
Okay.
then criticizes it the whole time.
Okay, that in fairness, I cannot drive the car that we have. That's why I refuse.
But even when it's been other cars.
I didn't refuse.
Okay.
No, I like driving. But okay, there have been 2 cars of his that I did not drive. One was a stick because I don't like driving stick. And
I miss that car.
I know you do. I think he loved that car more than me, to be perfectly honest.
No, but it was
close.
It was a good car. That was a really good car.
And the one that we have now, it's a really old car, and the power steering fluid, I guess there's a leak or something, and it is really hard to turn. Well, I have some problems with my shoulders, and I'm in pain a lot, and I don't have much free range of motion. So trying to turn that wheel would be way too much for me. So that's why I don't drive this car. If you get me a car, I will drive it. Yeah.
And if we build it, they will come?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. If you get me a car, I will happily drive it. I miss driving.
If we build it, Kevin Costner will come.
And Carrie said that she laughed. She said that's why she usually drives. I know. I'm a control freak. I admit it. But yeah, it's me. It's all me.
Well, it doesn't help when things happen like, I turn and go across a median.
No, I mean,
was terrifying.
That was terrifying.
Daddy, bumpity, 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 no.
He has had some not great driving experiences that have made me a little bit more nervous. That's all I'm going to say.
To be fair, he hasn't drove straight through a roundabout.
No, he hasn't done that. Honestly, okay, this is really weird. I'm going to give him a compliment and an insult all at the same time. He's not the best driver unless it's snowy. Snow and ice, he's fine.
Well, I did live in Iceland for 2.5 years. So
well, I think that's why it is. If it's snowy or whatever, I feel really safe with him. It's on a nice sunny day with dry streets. That's when I get nervous.
What about when it rains?
No, I don't know. I never really thought about it. But I feel very safe with him in the car when it's snowing. Nancy says with her eyes being so bad and losing feeling in her feet, she shouldn't be driving. She hasn't driven in over 4 years, but she did love driving. Yeah, there is something so amazing about driving. There's this freedom that you feel.
I agree. That's that. Even if you don't drive, but just knowing that you could if you wanted to.
Yeah.
That the car's there. If you wanted to get in the car and go somewhere, you can.
It just feels so good. It feels so good.
It's freedom!
Oh, wow, that was loud. Okay, yeah. He really is the loudest person I've ever known. And it's his mother's fault.
Mom used to complain that I was too quiet. So she kept encouraging me as a child to speak louder, to speak up. Wouldn't give me what I was asking for unless I asked for it like good and loud. So Kimberly's looking forward to heaven so she can have a nice little chat with Mom.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
They're going to have a coming to Jesus meeting.
We are going to have a coming to Jesus meeting with Jesus right there in the room. Absolutely. He is by far the loudest person I've ever known. And I'm a pretty loud person, so that's saying something.
That's some question.
Angel wants to know what's the one thing that we would like to do for ourselves as individuals.
Ooh.
I know. I'm sitting here going, huh? What?
I think David and I kind of stopped thinking about being individuals 14 years ago. But
Something like that, yeah.
yeah, because every time I make plans or I think about something, I think about how it's going to affect or incorporate David and Gentry and that kind of thing. Okay. I'm going to think. Okay, Gentry, you answer that one first.
You're actually an individual still, so you get.
Yeah, you go first.
I don't have a clue.
You don't have a clue? Huh.
Because I still take consideration you and Daddy, so.
Okay, so clearly we're all very codependent on each other.
I haven't even really revisited my 5-year plan in like forever, and I know that it's like totally not accurate anymore.
Let's see. Well, honestly, I think that my YouTube channel is probably my individual thing. I mean, you participate occasionally, but it's not part of your plan. No. I think this is probably it.
Watching it grow and
yeah, watching it grow and develop and meeting new people and coming up with new things and stuff like that. But I think this is probably it. I mean, because I already have my business technically. I've got my patterns and I will eventually make even more and sell and stuff like that. But that's something that I've been doing since 2007. So I've been doing that for a while. So I think this is probably it. And I started it a year ago. So yeah, I think this is my thing.
I still have no idea. And I'm not trying to dodge the question. I just have not given it any thought in such a long time. I've really fallen into the trap of just I go to work, I come home, I do whatever honeydew chores I've got, and
yeah, I've been trying to get him to establish a really good hobby or something for himself.
I think we found it.
Yeah, but even that, he's technically not really doing it by himself. I mean, yeah, I'd like for him to. Okay, now I have a thought. Do you eventually want to become active with the Masons? Because you were thinking of doing that and following your father's footsteps.
I did. It's not something I've really given a whole lot of thought about in a long time either. So.
Okay. And you're no longer thinking about getting your master's? Okay.
I might come back around to that one. I don't know.
So, yeah, David has zero plans for anything other than food and sleep and work.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, seriously, like I said, I am not trying to dodge the question. I just honestly do not have an answer. Not at this point. I'm kind of in just a dry period of reflection, I guess.
All right. Now, well, you do have some career plans that you would like to see. I'm not going to talk about those specifically, but you do have some plans that you would like to see come to fruition. Career-wise.
Job-wise.
Yeah. Okay. Job-wise. Yeah.
I draw the distinction because what I'm in right now, I don't know. I still am not sure how much of a career it is.
That's fair.
At the moment, it's a job, and I would love to grow it and be able to move up and be able to be in a higher position to make more than I do currently, so that we can better be able to start thinking about dreams and such.
Yeah, further plans.
Another trip to Florida, do Disney again, kind of thing.
Europe, car,
all those sort of things. Where right now, to be perfectly honest, we're doing well. Just trying to keep the bills paid, but
we're doing a little bit better than that.
Yeah, a little bit, but I'm just saying that's a lot of the reason why it is that. Yeah.
Hi, Darcia. Oh, sweetie, you're not late, especially if you were cleaning. You know what? Here, I got an idea. Next Sunday, you can come over here and you can help clean and organize stuff here. And then you definitely won't be late because you'll already be here. I like that idea. And I'm glad that you're here and you're never late. Show up anytime you want.
Oh, this is a fun question.
Funniest prank you ever did on someone? I'm not really a prank person. I don't actually like pranks for the most part.
Okay, but Renee,
Well, what did I prank him with?
April Fools.
Oh, yeah, but I think most wives do that to their husbands at some point. I mean, on my ex, there were a couple of April Fools that I said I was pregnant when obviously I wasn't, but I think that was probably it. I would be more likely to scare somebody than to do a prank.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like hide behind a door or teach my children how to make scary noises so that when somebody's asleep, they wake up to the scary noise, you know, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, that never happened.
Yeah, that never happened, sure. But yeah, I don't think I don't know. Do you ever do pranks, babe?
Not a lot. No, I'm not a terribly big prank person either. But once in a while, when an opportunity has presented itself, it's like it took the chance to jump all over it. Like my first marriage. Since you're talking about pranking your first husband.
Well, Gentry brought it up.
Yeah, but
whatever. Yeah, go ahead.
There was an instance where I was still in the military. We had gone through a promotion cycle, and the results came out. And I called home. Well, actually, I called the neighbor because we were in Italy and we didn't have a home phone. Home phones were very expensive over there. And my our neighbor answered, and I told her, I said that, you know, it's like I got promoted, but don't tell Jennifer. I wanted to tell her myself. Mary Beth, as soon as Jennifer walks in, she goes, I can hear her on the phone going, "Oh, I'm so sorry, David. Here's Jennifer."
Oh, she was ornery, wasn't she?
I took that opportunity to jump all over it because she had gone with, "I'm so sorry." And so I was like, yeah, the promotion results came out. And this person made it. And that person made it. And I talked to Jennifer later on. She's sitting thinking, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to console this guy? Because all the people in the shop made it and he didn't. And it's like, oh, I made it too.
Okay. Now, in fairness, there have been times when you have come to me with good news and you tried to act like it was bad news, but he's a really horrible actor. So I would just look at him like, yeah, I know you're lying. There were those times. Oh, wait. We did do a prank on Gentry.
I figured it out. But you're talking about the one with in regards to you guys disappearing.
No, but we did that one also. Okay, you know what, Angel? I was wrong. Okay, we've pulled two pranks. One was on both of our kids, and one was on Gentry. And the one on Gentry was when we were on a Disney cruise.
Oh, yes.
Yes, and I'll let David tell that one. That was fun.
That one was fun. Gentry had an issue on the cruise. I don't know if anybody, for folks that have never been on a cruise, one of the things they do now is that they give you key cards for your room, kind of like at the hotel, but on a cruise that matters more because it's your identification. You go into the stores, it's a credit card, it is everything. It's your life's blood. On the Disney cruises, they think they call it like key to the world or something like that because it does has so many different functions. And we went to one of the stops, which was Disney's private island, which is Castaway Cay. And we're coming back on the ship.
And we were like the last ones, except for like some crew members to get back on the ship.
Yeah, we were actually hitting some of the shops and stuff as they were trying to close the door so they can get back on the boat. But this island is, if a ship's not in port, the island is vacant. I don't think there's a soul.
No.
The people that were running the shops and stuff on the island were the people that ran the shops on the ship while we were out to sea. And we get back to where they're checking us all back into to the boat, and Gentry gets up. And the whole time that we're on this cruise, he kept losing his card.
And now it wasn't. I mean, one time may have been his fault, but for the most part, it wasn't. It kept coming off of the lanyard thing.
But yeah, he was having the darndest bit of luck here.
I know you want to tell the story.
Yeah.
Okay, well then get over here and tell the story.
So the first time I put it in, I had shorts that actually had buttons attached to it on the pockets to help pull it in place. I put it in the pocket, did the button to try to keep it safe. It fell out somehow. Don't know. Button never came undone. Second time was on the lanyard, which they actually give you to help hold it in place. It fell out of that. Don't know what happened. It disappeared. Third time, same thing happened with the lanyard. Don't know what happened.
I think your body may have been absorbing them.
I don't know. But we're going into the, back into the ship, and they're taking it. And I'm like, Gentry doesn't have us one. And I'm like, oh no, sweetie, you're going to have to stay on the island. And his little head bows down and his shoulders hunch over, and he goes, okay. And he starts walking back off the ship.
The fun part was the people that worked on the ship were such good sports. They chimed in and go, yeah, you can't come back on board.
Yeah. They totally played right along with it. But he looked so dejected and so sad. And he was so accepting of his fate that I was like, oh, no, sweetie, I'm just kidding. Come on back.
But it was for about 2 minutes there. He was so stuck on that island for the rest of his life with nobody else. It was going to be him, like a Robinson Crusoe.
Oh my goodness, it was awful. I felt like the worst mom ever. Oh wait, now I just thought of another thing I did. I'm a horrible parent. Okay, I'll let you tell the one about or do you want to tell that one?
I only remember figuring it out.
We left the house one time. And the kids were asleep, and we decided it'd be funny to put our clothes and our jewelry and stuff I put mine in the bed, and David put his in front of the toilet, and then we left so that they would think that the rapture happened.
And they didn't make the cut, poor guys.
But Gentry, we said he was really smart. He was so smart, he immediately went to the window to see if the car was gone. And then he texted us, that's not funny, guys.
Oh, we thought it was bleeding hilarious.
Oh, yeah, we thought it was really funny. And then finally, okay, this one is all 100% on me. Okay, so I really like to decorate for the holidays. And Halloween is one of my favorites. And I had this plastic cauldron that I would put out there. And, the kids were young, so they didn't think the whole thing through, the fact that it was plastic or anything. But kids often, when it gets closer to holidays, they often get a lot more hyper, and they misbehaved some, and, that kind of thing. And because they're getting so excited about it. Well, I told my kids that they were not the first kids that I'd ever had, that I had other kids before them, and that they didn't behave before Halloween, and I cooked them in that cauldron and ate them.
Weren't there bones underneath the cauldron?
Yes, I had plastic bones underneath the cauldron too. They were very well behaved. That's all I got to say.
We used to cackle outside our bedrooms.
Well, that was just me.
Oh, but that's not...
And similarly, we had that Christmas that they made the North Pole newspaper about how poorly they were behaving.
Yes, we had a picture of them dressed as elves, and the title of the newspaper that we printed out was like "When Elves Go Bad" or something like that. And how Santa wasn't going to come visit them unless they shaped up. Okay, I'm a horrible parent. That's it. You're right, Angel. I do pranks, and I am so horrible. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to repent tonight about my horrible parenting.
Talking about that cruise, those give me fond memories, especially the highlight of poor Gentry. I got that such a vivid memory of that of him walking away. And like I said, the people that worked the cruise were such good sports playing along.
Oh, absolutely.
That was a great cruise.
It was a great cruise for you. That whole trip was great for you. It was an awful trip.
It was not an awful trip.
It was an awful.
You want to go back and do it again right this time.
Well, I want it to not be awful this time. If it's your fault.
The seasickness, mommy's tooth, the naked part.
Oh, the naked part.
Oh my gosh. But
okay, we did say that we were letting everything out.
Did you have to phrase it like that?
I'm so sorry.
There was we'd come from something or other, and Kimberly.
We came from the frou-frou dinner for our anniversary.
Is that what it was?
It was the really frou-frou dinner.
To get out of your clothes. And
I was so uncomfortable. Okay, in fairness, I was miserable. We did a whole big trip. We did a lot of the Disney parks, and we did Universal Studios, and we did the cruise. We did this whole big long trip. And before we took the trip, David said, you know what? You have some dental work that you need to get done. Let's go ahead and get it done so that it's not going to bother you on the trip.
Yeah, that blew up in our faces because the dentist left a little piece of bone behind.
And it was stuck in one of the nerves. And so I was in excruciating pain the entire trip.
I think you were actually worse off than if we had not done the dental work.
Yeah. Yeah, it was some of the worst dental pain I've ever had in my entire life. And I've got really horrible teeth. So I know dental pain. It was so bad. And so I was just miserable the entire trip. And I was taking a leave, and I was taking ibuprofen, and I was taking Advil, but it didn't matter what I did. Nothing, it just.
We actually went down and tried to get
you
some high power drugs from the
ship. Yeah. And all he did was criticize the dentist and stuff like that. But anyway, but even still, he gave me like 1 or 2 pain pills, and they didn't do anything. And it was just awful. So I was very uncomfortable in general. And then we went to this fancy dinner, and of course the dress was uncomfortable, and I just couldn't wait to get back in the room. And the way that the Disney cruises work is that they have areas that are specific for the ages of the kids, so that you can actually go have the just grown up dinners and stuff like that, and your kids are taken care of.
And it's not kind of nice because it's like you have the confidence that if your kids go off on their own, there's only so far they can get before they run out of ship.
Yes. Oh, wait, it's past time. It is past time. We will get back to the naked thing in a little bit. So you need to write out all their names.
Okay.
And put them in the thing. Okay, let's see. All of you, obviously, who said bunker, got it correct. I'm going to go back through here, and let's find it.
There was Pam and Nancy and Carrie. And now
did you find it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now you're on. What was that show from the 60s? With the mirror, the mat.
It wasn't the 60s. I grew up with it as a kid. It wasn't that far back. It was the 70s. It was Romper Room.
Romper Room. Yes. Okay.
But yes, I see Pam and I see Nancy and
Okay, yeah. Let's see. There's Carrie and Pam and Nancy and Angel. I think that's it. Angel, and I guess you can throw your name in there, but you're going to have to quilt, so I suggest you don't. Okay, so we've got 4 names.
And if I were to win, then it looks like the whole thing's rigged, so we don't want to do that.
Yes, we don't want to do that. Now fold those up.
I don't want to.
Here, give me the hat. Okay, you need to clean your hat. Okay. We got us a Navy hat. Means we're doing this official. Here's one.
I'm having to fold these kind of backward because of the sticky part.
That's fine. I'm not going to let you look. And we'll let Gentry choose.
Okay.
I'll do the shakies.
But yeah, I'm folding them inside out.
I'll do the shakies.
They're like Post-it notes. They got that little sticky part.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Close. Oh, get over here and then close your eyes.
Okay.
All right. Just pick one.
One?
You picked two. All right. You got one. Okay. It's Carrie. Congratulations, Carrie. Way to go. All righty. Nancy, if you can put or Angel, if you can put the link to the store back in there so she can pick out which quilt pattern she wants. And Carrie, if you can send me an email, and if somebody could put my email in there too.
Casey, Divine Inspirations @yahoo.com.
And it's plural.
.coms?
No. Divine Inspirations. They're plural. Plural Inspirations. Thank you, Nancy. Okay. So I'm going to get that off the screen. And yes, they all have bunkers. All right. I thought that was a fun one. I'm a fan of All in the Family.
Whatchy?
Okay,
Uchi?
I don't know that. That one was not your best. Go back to Bullwinkle.
Whatchy? Oh, jeez, Edith.
My word. Guys, we just can't. We can't get them going.
I got to give credit to Carol O'Connor for being able to take a character like Archie Bunker and make him likable.
Yes.
Because
he was wrong and horrible in so many areas, and yet you just had to love him.
Somehow there was just this softness to him that Carol O'Connor brought. Because we watched that one thing where they were doing
the reboot.
It was like not a reboot, but it was they were taking a classic episode with and doing it with new actors.
Yes.
Woody Harrelson.
And Woody Harrelson.
Yes.
Marissa Tomei played Edith, and Woody Harrelson.
She did
Arthur.
okay.
She was good.
He was awful. You just wanted to hate him. It was. It was
helped me to realize just how
good,
wonderful of a performance that Carol Cos. Because as much as we hated Woody Harrelson, I don't blame Woody.
No, I hated him as Archie, or I hated his Archie. I think that's the better way to say it.
His Archie is the Archie that most people would have probably done. It's hard to get that nuance underneath that Carol O'Connor brought to the role.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, it really was. It was so good. Yeah, Carrie said it didn't work. Oh, wait. The link didn't work?
I tried the Etsy one. It worked for me.
Okay, the Etsy one worked for Gentry. What about let's see.
Is it the email? Because it's not a link.
No, the reboot. Yes. Okay, yes. The reboot did not work.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't know if we can call it a reboot because they weren't intending to start a new series. It was more like a celebration of All in the Family.
And it wasn't just that one. They did some other shows too. I don't remember.
That one. The thing we saw was in Good Times, an episode, a classic episode of All in the Family, and a classic episode of Good Times that they redid with new actors, and I think the exact same script. There was they made reference to where they had apparently done it before with All in the Family and the Jeffersons.
Yeah.
But the one we saw was it
was not good. It was not good at all.
And I can't say it enough. I mean, it's like I don't blame Woody Harrelson for a bad performance. I just think that it reflects how good Carol O'Connor was.
Yes. All right. So I've got to put this in order, and I need to make sure that I do it accurately. I am so glad that I have all of these done now. Okay, so first we've got the dark. Then we've got the light. Let me focus on this just for half a second, and then we could get back to the naked story.
I love how we made a point of, like, no, we're not going to answer any inappropriate questions.
I know. Well, it's technically not
It's not
inappropriate.
inappropriate.
It's not. It's funny.
It's hilarious.
Oh my word! Of course, not being able to really show what happened, that's a little different, but it's still funny.
Well, now
I'd like to be able to say you had to be there, but then there's a whole lot of folks that probably no,
we didn't want to be there.
Glad we weren't.
Didn't want to be there. All right, Gentry, can you look over my shoulder and make sure that I get this absolutely right?
And Carrie's commenting that she thinks that it was some sort of a tribute to Norman Lear.
Yeah, I think
that's
you're
what
right.
it was. It was a
think you're
celebration
right.
of his career.
I think you're right. But I didn't feel like that was. I don't feel like that part worked.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. Other than, like I said, it's really hard to play a character like Archie Bunker, who should be so reprehensible, and yet
Yes.
Carol O'Connor managed to make him likable.
Didn't he actually get his own show?
Well, that was after they killed off Edith.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Gentry, does that look right to you?
Yeah.
Does this look right to everybody on screen?
Well, they can't see what. It
Well,
says.
they can't see the bottom, but here I'll get rid of the banner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does that look right to you guys? Does it look like I was drunk when I made it?
Yeah.
I think that's the point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is awesome.
Yes, the Archie Bunker. In fact, I think All in the Family holds the record for the most spinoffs. It's either that or Happy Days. It might be Happy Days, but All in the Family's up there.
I would think Happy Days.
But that's also because of they do consider Archie Bunker.
That's a good question. That's a good question. Which one is it, Happy Days, or is it All in the Family that has the most spinoffs? Okay, let's see. For Archie Bunker, we've got.
There's All in the Family.
Well, yeah.
The Jeffersons.
Maude. Yeah.
From the Jeffersons, they had the one with their maid that spun off.
Really?
Yeah, she had her own.
Florence.
Florence, and I think that's what it was called. Gloria.
That's right. There was Gloria. Yeah, I think that's the one that has the most spinoffs.
And
yeah, Carrie said Maude. I love Maude. Oh my goodness, I could watch that for hours.
Good Times was a spinoff of Maude because
yeah,
Florida Evans was Maude's maid.
Really? I didn't know that Good Times was a spinoff of.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Really?
Huh.
By the way.
Yes.
And then,
she said yes. Carrie said yes. Wait, 227, Carrie said.
I don't know that 227 was a spinoff. I don't even think 227 was.
Okay, I think you need to look it up.
7. They've had 7 spinoffs.
Okay, what are they?
And Archie Bunker's Place is considered to be a spinoff, even though I really feel like that was just more All in the Family.
He got an error when he went to look. Okay, keep looking, Gentry. Keep looking. I need to take a picture of my block.
Look what it says.
Okay.
Okay.
It still says.
Gentry, sweetie, do you remember how we were looking for the 1x6 or whatever?
Yeah.
It's actually in my purple thing in the bedroom, and I need it.
And for Happy Days,
wait, let's see if we can name them without
looking it up. Well, Happy Days itself is a spinoff.
Carrie wrote, yes. Darcy wrote Sanford and Son.
Sanford and Son was Norman Lear. I don't believe it was a All in the Family spinoff though.
I need the pencil I gave you. You don't need it. I need it. Okay. I think I'm going to do these in 4 patches first, maybe. That might be easier. Okay.
But, so in Happy Days, it was a spinoff because it was originally an episode of Love American Style
That's right. It was.
called Love in the TV Set.
Well, okay, but was that actually a spinoff? No, it wasn't a spinoff. It was not a spinoff. That was the original pilot for Happy Days. And they didn't, I just watched all this. And they didn't like it. And they were like, well, let's not waste the footage. And they threw it in
Okay.
for Love American Style. And then later on, they came back and they're like, yeah, we need something for a show, something like this and like this. And what's his face? Oh,
Gary Marshall.
Gary Marshall was like, we had this. And they were like, we'll change it up a little bit. And then that was Happy Days.
By the way,
Yes.
do you know how hard it is to find something that's purple?
Oh, I told him it was in the purple thing. I like purple. Actually, periwinkle's my favorite color, but I love purple and I have a lot of purple things. So
But Happy Days had Laverne and Shirley, the obvious one.
yes,
Mork and Mindy.
yes.
Joni
Joni loves Chachi. Yeah.
Laverne and Shirley.
Well, we already did that. So that was it, right?
I'm feeling like there was more.
I don't think so.
Did you do Out of the Blue?
What?
Including Out of the Blue, 1979. Joan Loves Chachi. Laverne and Shirley. Mork and Mindy.
What is Out of the Blue?
Yeah, that one I'm not familiar with. I was thinking there was a couple of Happy Days spinoffs that didn't go anywhere, and Out of the Blue may be one of them.
What would that be? Does anybody know Out of the Blue? Yes, Mork and Mindy was hilarious. Scott Baio, Mork, Mindy, Laverne, and Shirley. Wait, what is Arnis? Angel said Arnis. What is Arnis?
Yeah, she said Arnis a couple of times. I think that's in reference to All in the Family. I'm not familiar with that one.
I'm not either. We need to look that one up.
Did you say 704 Hauser for Richie Bunker?
No.
No.
What is 704 Hauser?
That's another one that was a spinoff from the family.
Oh my goodness. Carrie said she doesn't remember Out of the Blue. And I don't remember 704 Hauser. Okay. So clearly there's a lot of stuff out there that we just don't know about.
You did say the Jeffersons.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's that's probably the more obvious of the Archie Bunker spinoffs.
See, now if Pam was here, we could have her sing us all of the theme songs for all of the shows.
By the way, Glenn Miller played
Angel said Arnie. Arnie.
songs that made the hit parade.
Okay, please don't do that.
Can I get back to the funny story?
Oh,
We're
Sorry.
going off.
are we going to get back to the naked story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, yes, I was very uncomfortable in my dress. I was uncomfortable anyway because of the tooth. Dinner had not been fun for me, obviously, because I was in pain and I was trying to pretend like I wasn't.
Even though it was a nice dinner and our waitress was
Oh, she
amazing.
was great, but it was all me. It was
She was
all
a
me.
Polish immigrant
Yeah, she was adorable.
that was her husband was a Frenchman that worked in the French restaurant on the ship. I asked the question. It's like when it's just the two of you, what language do you speak? And she's Polish and he's French.
And it was English.
English they actually communicated.
Yeah.
And I thought was kind of cool.
That is, yeah. They communicated in English. But So anyhow, so I was miserable. It was all me. It had nothing to do with the cruise in and of itself. And we got back, and I went to the bathroom and just stripped off my clothes while I was using the bathroom. Okay, because I multitask. I'm sure I'm not the only one. You want to tell your part?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think that's a good place to transition.
Yeah.
So me being shy and not knowing what to do, where to go.
And he's a little bit more mature than other kids his age. So he didn't really relate to any of them because they just wanted to do stupid stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah, potty humor was the main thing that everybody was talking about. And I just got bored. Wanted somewhere to go. Wasn't old enough to go be with my sister. And even though I think I would have been fine.
Yeah, you would have, but.
So I'm hungry, too afraid to go look for food. There's ice cream dispenser. So I just ate that. Again, not knowing what to do. I was just eating ice cream pretty much the whole time. Found out I'm lactose intolerant. So I spent a long while running around the ship, trying to find a bathroom, running into people, being afraid. There's not just like a normal just bathroom. The main bathrooms are in the actual cabins. So I go running into our cabin, swing open the bathroom door. There's Mommy. I quickly swing it closed.
Now, granted, he didn't actually see anything other than like a peach-colored blob.
Yeah, that door flew open and then slammed shut. I'm sitting there on the bed watching all this happen, and I didn't even have an opportunity to stop him because he just comes running in and grabs the bathroom door. But he slams it shut, goes into a frozen kind of like Heisman thing where he's
holding the door shut.
Holding the door like he's worried his mom's going to come out.
And his head's facing the other way.
And then he just goes, I think I'm going to be sick.
And then leaves the room.
And I just bust up laughing. I go, yeah, I'm sure that's what every naked woman wants to hear a man say when he sees her.
And obviously, he wasn't making a reference to seeing me naked. It was because he was going to be sick. But I was just like, oh, yeah, that's great.
It's been like 10, 15 minutes later, I come running back in. Then.
Yeah. And I was, of course, out of the bathroom and
clothed.
But poor thing.
They need to add restrooms somewhere that's not in the cabins.
They did have a few, but they were really tucked away, and everything was like a maze to get to. I remember we had the worst time finding the restaurant. Mm-hmm. And there was a bathroom outside the restaurant, but it took us forever to go through all the little curves and stuff to find it.
Well, in fairness, it was the same thing when I was in the Navy on ships. It's like you get to a point after you've put in like all the passenger rooms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That they're having to shove stuff wherever it'll fit.
Yes. And they do a great job. Absolutely. But Carrie's singing, "Those were the days."
By the way, what was your reaction?
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was hilarious.
Well, did you hear?
Did I hear you say that?
Yeah.
Yes. And I came out and Daddy was doubled over laughing hysterically. Yeah. Yeah. And I was just like, great. I make him sick. Lovely. Yeah, I gave birth to him. No good deed goes unpunished. Absolutely.
But that was it was a good, even with the things like your tooth bothering you. I think you still have pretty good memories.
I do have a few good memories.
We slept in on every day, I think.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
we did.
Were really bad about sleeping.
We were bad about sleeping in.
Oh, the funny thing was we come back from that trip and then we watch a TV show called The Middle, and then where the middle goes to Disney World. And one of the things they do is they miss everything because they kept sleeping in.
And we did that. And they even, but there was so many other things.
There was a ton of parallels. We're sitting there going, how on earth did they base this entire episode
on us?
Our trip to Disney World.
They even had the same luggage for the youngest son that they did for Gentry. It was funny. But yeah. Let's see. But Disney doesn't have the knee knockers. What are the knee knockers?
Like on a Navy ship, there's when you go through the passageways, the hallways, if you will.
Yeah.
There's the parts where there's doors, and it's the big C doors, because like you've probably seen on in TVs and movies where you got the turn, the thing that spins.
Yeah, like it looks like a giant safe kind of thing.
And it's got the big frame around it,
right?
That the bottom of it raises up off the floor.
Okay.
Probably about 6 to 8 inches or so.
So you have to like step over it.
To step over it.
Got it.
And it's not just where the doors are. Anywhere that there's a rib running through the ship.
Okay, it's got that ledge.
It's got that ledge that you have to step over by a good 6 to 8 inches.
Oh.
They're called knee knockers. I still have scars on my shins from having banged those a bunch.
I can't believe. Okay, I'm not being mean, I swear. But my husband and his entire family, and now us, because we took the name, huge klutzes.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not being critical. It's just what it is. I can't imagine you being on a ship with all those things.
Oh, and it's really fun when there's like some sort of an emergency and you're having to run somewhere.
Can you close that window? It's getting a little chilly.
And you're leaping over these knee knockers like they're hurdles.
Oh my goodness.
Not clearing about half of them.
Carrie, did you ever trip or fall or get permanent scars from them? Oh my goodness.
Now, admittedly, on a passenger ship, I don't know how well you may remember, but there were similar things with the doors, but they've designed the doors where those openings are a lot wider, and so the frame for the door is kind of tucked away.
Yeah.
So that normal passengers are not getting injured on these things.
Got it. She said, "Oh yes."
I think everybody does. That's why they call them that. That's why they call them knee knockers, because they are rough on your shins.
I would suspect, though, that after a period of time, that you would stop getting.
No.
Okay. So you're just saying that in general, it's just going to happen.
I don't think you ever really find the rhythm of especially, like I said, when it's an emergency and you're having to run.
Yeah.
And you're trying to clear these things. And the thing is, it's like you can't really jump over them.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you do that, then you're smashing your forehead into the part that's up above the door.
Ooh.
So your best bet, if you're trying to do the jump thing, is sort of trying to crouch and jump at the same time. Sort of an accordion thing going on with your body.
You're not capable of that.
Oh, heck no.
I guess it helps being short then.
I don't know. I would think it'd be hard to get over them, but
if you're tall, then you're slamming into the one above, the part above.
Wow. Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, because I mean, like a hurdle, the bottom part, you're trying to clear like a hurdle, but just jumping over the hurdle, yeah, you're going to smack your forehead.
Oh, you know what? I think, and no, Nancy, I don't feel like you're hurrying me, but Nancy has a premiere that she's going to do after we are done here tonight.
Okay.
And she is 2 hours ahead of us, and she hasn't been feeling well. So I think I want to wrap things up just a little bit. And no, Nancy, I don't feel like you're hurrying me at all. And Angel said that her YouTube crashed. Oh, no.
So she missed all of our fun stories.
Well,
It's still there.
Yeah, it's still there. She can catch it on the replay if she wants. Okay, no, Nancy, I don't feel hurried at all. We can absolutely wrap things up.
It's been 2 hours.
Yeah, it's been 2 hours. And
Time's fun when you're having flies.
yeah, and it's not like Angel, don't say sorry. Angel, don't say sorry. Oh, she said give her 30 minutes. Okay. I can ramble on for a few more minutes.
Ramble on.
You talked about Pap on the ledge.
Or the chainsaw or whatever. No, we'll save some of the klutz stories for another time. Yeah.
Well, I can at least share that on our wedding, it was my dad and me that got sent to go get the cake.
Yes.
My dad, we're loading it up in his truck, and my dad just looks at me and goes, Kimberly does know who she sent to get this, right?
Which, A, I technically did not send them. They offered, or well, David did. And B, no, I really didn't know what I was doing. If I didn't know the full extent of the klutziness, or when he offered to go get the cake, I probably would have said, no, we'll get somebody else. But actually, nothing happened.
God smiled on us that day. The cake
Nothing
was perfectly
happened.
fine.
It was perfectly fine. Absolutely. So it all worked out just great. But it could have gone poorly. Okay, I have a couple of questions. Number one, is anybody other than Nancy, and it's okay, you can all say no, is anybody interested in actually sewing along next Sunday when we're doing the coasters and the mug rugs? If so, I will make sure that I have a list in the description part of the live for next week when I post it. Just give me an idea if you're interested or not. And I also want to know if you would rather me go ahead and sew this block together. We got a yes, please, for the, take notes for me. We have a yes, please, for the coasters and mug rugs. Should I go ahead and sew this one off camera, and then the next time we're back on here for the Underground Railroad, should I go ahead and start working on the final block? Because you guys might be really bored with this block by now. And if so, just say, bored with the Drunkard block, let's move on. So let me know. And the other thing is, should I definitely include the timeless quilt in the mix for Sundays? So let me know. I know lots of questions, but since you guys are being so sweet to take time out of your lives to come and hang with me, I want to kind of be respectful and, have some content on here that, you guys want to see. And you know what? I'm thinking of changing these blocks actually, because I'm hand sewing these right now. And with the extra layers, it's kind of difficult.
Angel says she's excited about the timeless quilt.
Okay. And she commented on the other one. So, Angel, what about this block? Do you want me just to finish this off camera and move on to the final block? Or do you want to watch me start cutting this up so that it's thinner for me to sew with? Because these stitches are going to be really big, and I'm not liking that. And I'll tell you why. Normally, when we would applique something like this on in the piecing process, we would go ahead and we would cut this back part out so that it would just be the one layer. And I didn't
finish the block. I don't know if that means finish it on camera or finish it prior.
Yeah. Okay. Let me know. So I'm going to cut all these out of the back so that it's all just one layer, except for right here where the seam is, so that it'll go faster. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this out.
She says she wants you to finish it on camera.
Okay, we can do that. Absolutely. That means when I'm not on camera, I can work on other stuffs. And I'm going to get back to this week. I'm going to get back to the Good News Mystery Quilt. And because I have really missed doing that the last couple of weeks. And I'm also going to get back to working on Gentry's Woodland Quilt. So we've got lots. And Carrie said, it's just nice to spend time with new friends. Absolutely. I am so glad that you joined us. And it's nice that you have some stuff in common with David. Because, you know, I'm sure he probably sometimes gets a little bored with you know, all the quilty stuff.
I like quilts.
I know you do. You just don't want to make them.
But I like being under them.
Yes. And you like them when they're on the walls and you think they're pretty.
I do think they're pretty, but they're definitely nice and toasty when you're underneath one.
Yeah. But you don't really need one when you're curled up next to me because I'm hot.
That's why I married you.
No, I don't mean hot like that. Silly man.
Feeling hot, hot, hot.
All right. So we will definitely add that into the mix. I'm excited. I've really been wanting to work on that timeless quilt for a long time. I even was sketching stuff. I mean, oh my goodness, it's been a really long time. I don't even know how long. At least
Downton Abbey was still in the air when you got the fabric.
it was. It's been at least 4 or 5 years. And I'm actually ordering some additional fabric. I did order already. That should be arriving. Ow, I just stabbed myself. That should.
Is part of why quilting is not for wimps.
And now I'm bleeding. So I need to get one of my cutesy puppy dog band-aids.
You're out of towels?
I think so. But I like these too. Anywho,
Those are actually really good band-aids.
they are good band-aids. Aren't they cute?
They're not just cute. They're actually a
Well,
quality band-aid.
Yeah. Little. I lost track of what I was trying to say.
I'm sorry, I can be distracted.
I don't know that it was you. It could just be my sick brain. Oh, now I'm bleeding on my other fingers. Oh, my word.
You stuck yourself but good.
I did. Now I'm making a mess.
I guess anything worth doing is worth doing right.
Yeah. All right. Okay. There we go.
Either that or is it go big or go home?
You know, I guess it really wouldn't be a day of quilting if I didn't stick myself or cut myself or something.
Well, I've always heard that every quilter puts a little bit of themselves into each project that they make.
Blood, sweat, and tears every time.
Emphasis on the blood.
Or the tears.
Or the sweat if you're doing it in the South.
Absolutely. So anyhow, I don't know what I was talking about. It probably wasn't even remotely important. Might have been important. Maybe it was about the upcoming weeks. Maybe it was about how long I've been planning the timeless quilt, which it's still in the process of planning. So I'm going to just kind of wing it. Oh, I know. I placed an order. That's what it was.
Right.
I placed an order with connecting threads because they had what was it called? Let me see if I can find it. And then I'll share it with you guys. It was a really, there weren't a lot of pieces in the collection, but I still thought that they would be really, really perfect for this project. It's called Thickle and Bramble. Let me see if I can pull up a picture. Let's see. Okay, There it is. I wish the picture was bigger, but I could still share it with you guys. But I just thought that it would go perfect. And you can never have too much fabric for a project. You just can't. Okay, there we go. What do you guys think? I know you can't really see the details of it, but I think it'll go really, really well. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get started on it. I have to find, there's one little sheet of scrap paper that I was just one day just brainstorming with what I wanted to do with this. And I'm going to have to see if I can find that little scrap piece of paper. We've only moved a few times since I did that. So, but if not, that's okay. I will take it as an opportunity to just redesign things and go from there. I've got a couple of weeks before we do that. So
Nancy says the stuff pretty.
it is pretty. It is pretty.
And she wrote it in all caps, so she's yelling it at you.
She can yell it at me. She can yell all she wants to. That's an inside joke. Okay. Anywho. All right. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. I'm going to give you a moment to say goodbye to each other.
You.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're going to miss everybody?
I'm going to miss you. You're saying goodbye to everybody. You should say goodbye to me, and I'm going to miss you then.
This is what I put up with all the time. I love him. Okay. He often says, why do you put up with me? And it's, it's a mission from God, apparently. And
so which Blues Brother are you, Jake or Elwood?
oh, would you stop?
We're on a mission from God.
Okay. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. And thank you all for the well wishes while I've been sick. And I've just been really appreciative. And I've had so much fun hanging with you guys tonight. I've really missed all of you.
So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, good night.
All right. Okay. Love you guys all bunches. And until I see you next, I definitely hope that you're all cozy in your jammies. See you soon.